Hello, I'm Geeta Varshneya. At present, I'm Education Director at Shri Ram Global School and I teach +2 economics. In fact, I started teaching economics in 1982 and so I have completed almost 40 years teaching economics. And every time I am in class teaching economics, I enjoy. So my teaching journey is more like my learning journey. In 1982, I started working in a college in Dombivli and started teaching their BA economics students. It was very tough for me because my age and the students' age was almost the same. So I would make a big bun, wear sari and look old and try to, tame them. But slowly I found very good friends in my students and they also worked with me in economics. 4 years I taught in a college in Kalyan, Birla College of Arts, Science and Commerce, and then my husband shifted to Ghaziabad. So here I joined the +2 that was just started in DPS Ghaziabad. DPS Ghaziabad, I spent around 21 years with the same society, leaving them as a principal only. And I worked there, I think, in almost all departments. I consider that as my laboratory. I did a lot of experiments in teaching there. So I had one problem that if I don't learn new things year, 2 years, then I really get impatient. So I would do something and bring back and share it with my students. Kept on doing this. Even as I took on responsibility, I did the same. One very good lesson my early years with grade 12 taught me. I was working very hard to get 0.5 percentile, 0.01 percentiles for my kids. Now, worked very hard with them, doing all kinds of questions, methods of answering, not leaving any stone unturned. I got 0.01 percentile for 5 of my students. But I found that my accounts teacher, who was completing 14 chapters in 14 days in a year, also had 3 students qualify. And I was asking them, how did you get in accounts? And my kids said that you had taught us all the strategies, we applied them in accounts. And that was an eye-opener for me, that I don't need to teach them every bit, I just need to give them the skills. So from there on, I think it has been a great learning journey. I worked for improving the NTSC and board and JEE results. But how I did that was interesting. Every year we are preparing, because there is no set syllabus for these things. We are preparing students and we are taking their feedback. So after they give the exam, they come back and tell us that this was a new type of question, this we had not done, or this worked very well. Based on the feedback, we used to prepare syllabus for the next year batch. In JEE, it was completely on feedback. In fact, based on their feedback, we started an integrated system in DPS Ghaziabad, which later on became a much sought after system in schools, but a very difficult system to implement. And that is that we are preparing them both for CBSE as well as for competition. The good side is that they don't have to prepare 8 subjects. They have to just prepare 5 subjects. There are no 2 contradictory test series happening. The children are much more comfortable. And the same set of teachers, or even if there are 2 teachers teaching, there is no contradiction. Like nobody is saying that, oh, your school teacher is teaching you wrong, or the coaching teacher is better, whatever. So this worked very well. Again, the kids said this is the best system. to prepare for competitions. And this had something like, from 11 or 12 JEE qualifiers, the number went up to 50 plus, only because of working with the kids. I think that's a mantra I have learned, that whenever you work with kids, they do well. As far as differentiation goes in a class, I always have to adapt to every single child's learning journey in the class. So I am always in eye contact with them. So if I see somebody is not following, then I ask that, do you know this? Any prerequisite concept that is to be known? And then explain that. And that has also worked wonders. Over the years, I have felt that, humiliating kids that you don't know this never works. So taking them along that, okay, if you don't know, we can work it out, is always better. Apart from this, I did a lot of courses, like I did the New Jersey's Principals and Supervisors Association. They conduct a program in educational leadership. I did the educational leadership program of CEMD. That was, I think, the turning point which made me much more proactive as a teacher. It also helped me in the various positions that I slowly took up in DPS Ghaziabad as headmistress of senior wing and later as principal. So these courses, whatever I learned, I implemented in the school. I saw what is working, what is not working. One very good guru I had was Guy Blackburn. His dimensions of learning model was like a Bible for me, and I loved it. So I not only trained my teachers in doing it, but every bit of it was like, so satisfying when we could see it happening in the class. Again, as I said, my learning journey continued. I did the management course of LMI also in India. I also did work with Adhyayan for their school audits. And that was another set of, learning journey. Visiting schools in different parts of the countries, especially the Northeast, was an eye-opener. How effective those schools were with hardly any infra. They just bought musical instruments and kids would learn music. So Adhyayan audits really grew upon me, and I could always see the big picture. With that, I did another course, which was again on school audit. This was with the Queen's University. Again, used it for all my own ISO audits that I used to have in school. Another area in which I really learned a lot was assessments. And I started doing some experiments in it when I was principal of DPSG International and worked on ability scores, effort scores, and it was very good. So ability, achievement, and effort was the three things that are very different. And we must value all the efforts that children make. So I did have, a good success in that. I also have done a lot of work with the children in social science areas, like projects that we did on Know Your City. I did for Ghaziabad with the students, and then I did in Moradabad also, where I was heading CLG World School. Actually, I have founded 3 schools and worked in 2 others to bring them to a higher level. And these have been very, very satisfactory experiences. So as I was telling you about Know Your City projects, so the kids, we took to various places in the city, which were ancient places or historical places where they talked to people, to their earlier generations, looked into their old documents, found out stories, then talked to the personalities of those areas, then talked to DMs about the developmental projects. They found everything about that. Now, doing this is one, know your city, which every child should. Then it became like a habit. So every year we would have at least, 2 projects where we are planning. Teachers are visiting. Say they have to teach the Delhi Sultanate. They would visit, do a Reiki of the 4-5 cities that we can show them in Delhi and plan it, that they'll go here, they will do this artwork here, they will find out or talk or, answer these questions. So the whole visit throughout the day, if they have to visit a coin section in National Science Museum, it's all planned, minute by minute. Coming back, quizzes in the bus, all information that is gathered is then brainstormed upon, and then they have to make a presentation. They did role plays, they did gallery walks. So it was an amazing thing. And this was loved by students and teachers alike. So these strategies leave learning impressions, good memories. Children remember that, okay, when we go to a place, we should be observing the architecture and see where there is an arch and when the rectangular things began. So you see, it gives them a different perception of things. Otherwise, they're just traveling. They're not noticing these things. So learning by traveling, by doing leadership camps is another way of learning much more. See, we all have a long, way to go as far as our learning journey is concerned. But what is important is that we keep evolving. We keep adapting for, all the changes that are happening around us. And so I think with the COVID, we had more of technology. And now we are all, using these technology tools very easily. So technology again brings in a whole gamut of responsibility. So in my journey also, I did a lot of courses to update myself as a teacher and then use them in my classrooms. I'm still learning a lot of things. I do a lot of spiritual courses also. They call it spiritual. For me, every learning is a learning, which helps me find more meaning in my own life. And I have only one message to give to my teachers. Being a teacher is a gift, just like being a parent. And it's a huge responsibility, just like being a parent. So if you want to be a really effective teacher, very simple 3 mantras given to me by one of my mentors. Love yourself. Your kids should find their teacher a happy person. So love yourself. Number 2, love the people around you, because that will create the environment around you. And number 3, love this planet. If we are able to teach these 3 things to the students, I think our job is done and our planet is saved. Thank you.